Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for another stream. This is the transfer tips video for Game Week 14. We hope everyone's doing well. Sorry for the timing of this stream. Obviously, you guys know we normally stream at 7 p.m. UK time, but we are late today. We were supposed to actually stream at 8 o'clock, but we were delayed due to some issues. Just to a little channel update. So as you guys know, our normal stream time is 7 p.m. UK time. However, going forward, we are most likely going to stream now at 8 p.m. I mean, we are going to stream at 8 p.m. from going forward just because of work commitments. I finish work a bit later now, and by the time I get home, etc., it's a bit later than usual. So we are going to move Tuesdays and Thursdays streams to 8 p.m. UK time. So hopefully that is all good with you guys. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? All is well?
Yeah, all is good. It feels like Game Week 14 is coming thick and fast, and now on obviously transfer tips, but soon it's going to be team selection and the final deadline streams. But we have got a lot for you guys to talk about in this transfer tip video, which will give you some guidance on some players you want to buy, sell, hold, and ignore.
Yep, definitely. So let's kick it off with the first buy of the list, and that is Brian Mbeumo. And yeah, look, where do we begin with Mbeumo? So 13 appearances so far already this season, 6 goals, 2 assists. So he's having a very good season so far. In terms of numbers, his expected goals per 90, 0.56 as well. So pretty good. We also know he's had another price rise, I believe, Sunday night. I've actually bought him in already early. For those that don't know, I'll reveal later, I guess, on the team selection video. But, Brian Mbeumo has gone up. He's now 7 million. And again, he has that nice run of fixtures because, that's why we are looking at bringing him in. That block of 4, Luton at home in Game Week 14 looks like a very nice fixture. Brighton after that, Sheffield, and then Villa, and then a blank. So, yeah, you guys have to consider he does blank in Game Week 18 due to obviously Brentford not having a game. But the fixtures before that, look very nice, and he's on penalties as we know, which is important, I guess, to a lot of us. He also pretty much plays 90 minutes. I don't think he'll get rotated much, even with the heavy fixture schedule, because he's the main man at Brentford pretty much. And yeah, I think the fixtures are great. If you've got Mitoma, you could move to Mbeumo. Other players around that price bracket, around the 7 million. He probably seems like the one to go for, really. And I've bought him in. And I'm happy to own him because the fixtures going forward look really good. So yeah, 26%. So ownership has risen quite considerably, and that will probably go up a lot more closer to Game Week 14's deadline. So Mbeumo definitely on the list, and definitely one I think you guys should be buying. But yeah, let's move on then to the second pick and the second buy of the video, and that is obviously you've gone with Hwang. Talk us through this selection, why you've selected Hwang. Obviously, he scored last night. What do you make of Hwang and his performances?
Yeah, I feel like Hwang has really gone underneath the radar so far this season. I mean, he's got 7 goals and 2 assists as a midfielder at 5.6 million. Not to mention, some of the goals that Hwang has scored in have been against teams which you never think, obviously Wolves, well, in particular Hwang, get any chances in. But he has managed to score against Man City in Game Week 7. He's managed to score against, I'm just trying to think who else he's scored against. There is Newcastle in Game Week 10 in that 2-2 draw. So he is scoring against big teams, and also Liverpool in Game Week 5. And I feel like Hwang at his price, and for me, I like to go different this season, like really off the radar different, because at the moment it seems to be very template in terms of players. And I think going with Hwang, even though he has the Arsenal away next, I still think that's a good fixture, even though it's an away one for Wolves. Wolves haven't played so badly this season, and that goes to show Hwang hasn't played bad either. Considering that he can still score, even though Wolves lost. For example, last night they lost to Fulham 3-2, but Hwang still managed to get a goal in that game. And I feel like no matter what fixture Hwang has, and obviously Wolves, they're still scoring goals behind big teams, whether regardless if they win or lose. So I'm not only just going to go on obviously the fixture of the player, I'm also going on the form of obviously Huang as well. And his minutes have improved since obviously we saw him play limitless minutes around game week 6, but then after that he started to play pretty much 85 to 90-minute football each game week, so he has become pretty nailed for Wolves as well. And yeah, it's hard to go against Huang. I think if you're looking for midfielder spot that's cheap, 5.6 million is pretty affordable, around like the Gordon price that a lot of people have gone for this week because who's got Man United. So I think in regards to Wang, I think he's also a good option to go for. I'll say even better because his ownership is 5.7%, so it's even lower than, for example, Gordon's, who's risen quite high because of how well he did last game week. But I think Huang, he's still underneath the radar. I mean, his ownership has crept up a bit for obviously scoring that goal against Fulham on Monday. But yeah, I think with the fixtures, I think Huang could be a decent differential pick to go for. And I think for myself, if I had the option, I think I'd go for Wang if I could.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I think it's a good pick as well for sure. Going forward, I mean, Arsenal's tough, but after that, it's not too bad. Let's move on to the sells then. So players that we think we could be looking to get rid of. And first one up is a pick that I've made, and that is Mitoma. Now, Mitoma's still flagged, I believe, in FPL. Right?
Yeah, he was originally a red flag, but now he's downgraded to yellow, but he's still currently flagged.
Yeah, so he's still a flag. Obviously, we don't know for sure if he's going to be fit for game week 14, but even if he was, I'm not 100% like think you have to keep Matoma. I think he could be a sell, and that's why I put him on this list. You take a look at his next 5: Chelsea, Brentford, Burnley, Arsenal, Palace. So a couple of tricky fixtures in there. He's at 7.1 million, so he is quite tempting. If you don't have Burmo, you could switch Matoma to Burmo, in one move. So something like that could be tempting. And obviously we know Burma's got the Luton fixture in game week 14, especially with the flag surrounding Matoma. I would be worried, especially with the Christmas period, a lot of fixtures in a tight schedule. So that slightly worries me with Brighton and Mitoma especially, whether he's going to be fit for those games. And I wouldn't want to take that risk personally. But, Mitoma's had a decent start to the season. 3 goals, 3 assists. Not too bad. But that flag, I would probably be getting rid of him if I had Mitoma in the team. Who else then we've got left for the sell? Because obviously this is your pick. Next up, you've gone with Matty Cash. Interestingly, talk us through this pick. Obviously, I own Matty Cash. So do you, I believe. What's the thinking behind this one?
Well, I only Kadeem, but that's pretty much as bad, I think, as a defender's pick for Aston Villa. But yeah, I've gone with Matty Cash as a sell. I think one of the obvious reasons being is Aston Villa haven't really kept a clean sheet. I think since Luton, where Matty Cash luckily got a clean sheet from being taken off before Aston Villa conceded to Luton. Besides that, their last clean sheet was against Chelsea in game week 6. So yeah, since then, up till game week 13, there's been no clean sheet for Aston Villa. And for a defender, going game weeks that long without a clean sheet is going to be frustrating. And I feel like with the fixtures that Aston Villa have coming up, I honestly don't see a single clean sheet from as they keep conceding at least one goal. It's like pretty much like Man City. Even though they're playing well, Aston Villa, they still let in 1 or 2 goals behind them. And that's the reason being why I've put Matty Cash as a sell. Not because of the fixtures, but also because of the lack of assists that Aston Villa have provided so far this season. And even though Matty Cash had a good attacking threat record of 2 goals and 1 assist this season, I just feel like it's a time now where we can sell Matty Cash and potentially bring in another defender, which most likely has better fixtures and also is picking up more clean sheets as well. Because a lot of you will probably sell Matty Cash to bring in potentially Arsenal defenders, as they seem to be more proficient on obviously clean sheets so far this season. And yeah, that is really why Matty Cash is a sell. I mean, his ownership is dropping below 30% now, and he is expecting to drop in price tonight for those who are looking to obviously sell him early to avoid the degrading the price. But yeah, that's my reasons being why Matty Cash is a sell.
Okay. Let's move on to the holds then. So these are players that we think you could be given another chance to. Now these are players that are being transferred out actively right now by you managers. So first up, I've gone with Heung-min Son. For me, Son is still a hold. I know he was frustrating on the weekend against Villa, where he scored 3 goals, but all three were offside. But I look at it in the positive that he's still getting the chances, and he could convert them going forward. So for that reason, I'm still holding Son myself. So he's got 8 goals in 13 appearances, so doing very well. However, we know Spurs have now had 3 losses in a row, which is disappointing, for Spurs. Okay, game week 14 fixture isn't great. It is Man City away, so one of the toughest fixtures you can have. But look at the next 5. I'm still leading towards the side of keeping Son. Game week 15 is West Ham at home. I think that's a decent fixture. Newcastle's tough, but after that, Forest and Everton look nice fixtures for Spurs. And obviously, we know they're going to have a few players coming back, like Van der Ven, etc. in defense. Who else will be coming back? Some of the defense. Romero, sorry, will be coming back. I should have said Romero, actually. Obviously, Van der Ven's out for a while, but Romero is going to be coming back, which will be a big boost for Spurs. And yeah, they're still getting chances. We saw in that game against Villa, they could have easily been 3-0 up in the first 20 minutes if they took the chances. However, they didn't. They didn't. But that's not to say they can't score against Man City or Newcastle. I wouldn't be surprised if Son did score against a high line of Man City. So I'm going to be keeping him. His ownership's still fairly high, 40%. But I'm not willing to get rid of him yet. And yes, he's quite expensive at 9.7 million, but he is playing out of position. He's pretty much playing up front as a midfielder. So for that reason, I'm yet to, I'm still 99% sure that I'm going to keep him for another couple of weeks. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Son. Do you want to add anything on Son, or should we move on to the next pick?
Just quickly on, he's also expecting the price drop tonight as well, Son. So if you're looking to obviously again go for the price drops before he drops value to 9.6, then if you want to make an early move, that's your fair warning.
Okay. Next player then, another hold, and this is your pick. You've gone with Bowen as a hold. Talk us through this one and your thoughts surrounding Jarrod Bowen.
Yeah, Jarrod Bowen is this is annoying yet interesting one, because as far as we know now, we don't know whether Bowen is going to be fit for the Crystal Palace at home fixture. But I take that as a good thing, because obviously we'll find out in the press conference whether Jarrod Bowen is going to be fit and healthy for the Crystal Palace at home fixture. But because we haven't had much of an update, obviously, since the previous fixture against Burnley, it's hard to really tell whether his Bowen's really it's worth a sell or to keep, because he was withdrew from the England squad, obviously on the 19th after a knee injury in training, and he was subject to a late fitness test ahead of the trip to Burnley, but it was not to be. He wasn't in the squad at all mentioned. So I will say hold on to Bowen and don't sell him yet until 100% sure. We'll know more in the press conference, obviously, and what David Moyes says about Bowen, but I wouldn't say sell him yet. I mean, if you sell him now and he miraculously is going to play against Crystal Palace at home, I feel like you're going to have such a loss, because it's going to be another transfer they're bringing back in, as well as the fixtures that Bowen has lined up as well. And he has scored 8 goals this season. As a midfielder, there's not many midfielders that have scored 8 goals. So I think Bowen's an exceptional player that you want to hold on to until you know for sure whether he's going to be fit or not. And wait and see. I mean, he's getting a price drop tonight as well. So it is going to be interesting. And obviously his ownership is dropping, which as a Bowen owner, I'm going to be holding on to him until I know for sure whether he's going to be fit or not. But I think in terms of my team, I am praying that he is. But yeah, that's my reasons being for why Bowen is a hold for me.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think I'd be holding on to Bowen until I find out, because the fixtures for the next 3 or 4 look really nice. Yeah, let's move on to some ignores then. So these are players that people are bringing in still that we think you could be looking to ignore potentially. First one up, I've gone with Jeremy Doku as an ignore. Now, we know he had a decent game against Liverpool. I believe he got the 3 bonus points, even though he didn't get any attacking returns, which you don't see often. But yeah, he's priced at 6.7 million, so he's pretty cheap. 10 appearances, 2 goals, and the 5 assists so far. So, he's done well in terms of returns in the limited game time he's had. However, the reason why Doku is an ignore for me is due to the fixtures in terms of how many, in that quick succession during that Christmas period where I believe there'll be rotation with Man City, especially Man City and Pep. Grealish, we know, was ill. So Grealish wasn't injured, he was ill. And rumors were going around that Grealish was supposed to start against Liverpool, but because he was ill, Doku came in. Don't know if that's confirmed or not, but with Grealish seemingly going to be back for Game Week 14 and beyond, Grealish will probably take minutes off Doku and play a couple of these fixtures from 14 to 17. So for that reason, Doku again is a rotation risk for me. One game it could be him, another could be Grealish, could go with Foden. Man City do have options out wide. Bernardo can play wide as well. So I'll just stay away for that reason. I wouldn't want the headache of rotation risk with Jeremy Doku. Even though he's a good pick, high upside when he does play, I just think I'd rather not have such a big rotation risk going into a busy period with a lot of games. But yeah, let's move on to the next ignore. The final ignore that you've gone with. I mean, you've selected Onana, which is interesting. Obviously, I think 3 clean sheets in a row for Onana. What do you make of Onana and Man United? And how come you've gone with Onana as an ignore?
Yeah, very interesting opinion of Man United in general, but we can't ignore the fact that Onana's had 3 clean sheets in a row up to this point, and I think now you can just already say the fixtures. I'll be very shocked and surprised if I see a clean sheet in any of these 5. Even that Bournemouth a home fixture, that could be a bit debatable whether that's a clean sheet or not. Even that's the easiest fixture that Man United have in the next 5. But yeah, I think this is the reason why Onana's ignore because of the fixtures. I think you've missed the boat on having Onana for those 3 clean sheets he previously got last few game weeks, and now I don't see clean sheets for Man United. The fixtures get tougher, and the way Man United are playing is still not as convincing as we like to think they are, even though they have moved up to, I think, 6th in the table, which is quite a surprise that the way they've played the season that they are there in that position. But in terms of Onana, I think for the price as well, 4.8 million, I think you can save yourself a couple of 0.1, 2 or 3 million on a goalkeeper like him, because the fixtures don't bode well. I know many goalkeepers haven't really kept clean sheets either alongside defenders, but I think you can save a little bit of money not going for Onana, because you can't expect many clean sheets in the next 5. So yeah, I'd probably save my money on going with another goalkeeper that has better fixtures and hoping that there is more clean sheets there. So yeah, that's my reasoning, is being with Onana being obviously an ignore for this week and for the foreseeable next 5 fixtures as well, considering his ownership has gone up to over 14%.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with Onana. I do think Man United have been a bit fortunate in their clean sheets, especially the last game. Everton should have probably scored 2 or 3 themselves, but that is FPL sometimes. And fair play to Onana and Maguire owners. But yeah, the fixtures do look a bit trickier. So those are the picks, guys, for the buy, sell, hold, ignore series. Let us know if you agree with our picks. Do you disagree with our picks? Is there anyone that we've left out? Anyone that we should have included? Let us know your thoughts, guys, what you think of our picks. Also, if you are enjoying the content, do smash the like button. If you're watching on a playback, make sure you also do smash the like button. Also, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out when we go live. Just a quick announcement as well. Again, we announced it earlier, but if you missed it, if you're watching live, going forward from Thursday, all our streams on the weekdays, so not the knee jerk, but the transfer tips video and the team selection video will be 8 p.m. UK time due to work commitments with myself, meaning we have to move the stream to 8 p.m. now. So hopefully that's fine. Doesn't cause too much of an issue. But yeah, I'll let you take this question, Jordan, and then we will wrap it up.
Yeah, hi lads. Even though I bone, I can bench him if needed. I'm rolling this week. I don't really see a player to get rid of. Maybe Anderson, but I'm going to hold him for Bournemouth, then sell. Yeah, I totally agree. As I put Bowman as a hold, you can potentially bench him, because I don't think his knee injury is that serious, which also we'll find out how serious it is if it's the worst case for Bowman. But Yeah, I think even benching him could be the way to go. I like his fixtures, and I don't think I'll be reluctant to get rid of him. Well, in my position, I really can't because I have not really any midfielders standing. So yeah, I completely agree. Anderson could not be bad shout against Bournemouth either.
Okay, so that's it from us. We want to thank you guys for watching, and yeah, hopefully you had a good, start to your week. And we'll see you guys again on Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time, for the team selection video. So make sure you tune in for that one. Should be a good one. Sorry for the late stream. Sorry for the impromptu stream. Obviously, we didn't really set a notification when it went live. You guys wouldn't have known. But yeah, 8 p.m. from now on, and we'll try to stick to that. Thank you guys for watching. Take care and see you soon.